So clearly was a foul, was not called. And then Cunningham gets into the face of DiJonai Carrington.
Punch in your face, okay? It's enough. Like, I don't usually do stuff like this, but just stop it, bro.
3 players, 4 days, every single one hit in the face. This is not a basketball story anymore. This is a public safety announcement. DiJonai Carrington clotheslined Sophie Cunningham on a breakaway on August 8th, left her with a bloodied lip, got a flagrant 2 ejection, posted white privilege from the locker room, came to a Monday press conference and called it never intentional. And then Carrington did it again, twice. 3 players hit in the face in 4 days. Shaquille O'Neal, the most physically dominant player in NBA history, the man who knows better than anyone what dangerous play looks like.
Here's the thing. Why is DiJonai Carrington even in this game? This all could have been avoided if the league suspended her, as they should have, for the flagrant 2 foul against Sophie Cunningham. But no, that never happened. Also, the league never did anything about the posting on social media after she was ejected. That's against WNBA policy.
The man who called Caitlin Clark the real deal and acknowledged that girls try to beat her up is watching all of this with the same eyes as every Clark fan in this country. And Sophie Cunningham was right. She said biological men should not compete against biological women, and she got clotheslined for saying it.
DiJonai Carrington is looking around the room like, oh my God, I've never been in this much fire. I mean, it's getting so bad that now her endorsements are potentially about to pull out on representing DiJonai Carrington.
This just goes to show that DiJonai has no self-awareness in what's going on. DiJonai Carrington runs on threads immediately. White privilege at Indiana Fever. White privilege. You running around with blonde hair. It looked like you trying to be white. It looked like you trying to be a white girl. What are you talking about white privilege? The white girl just got a technical foul for something she didn't even do. What are you talking about white privilege, bro? This is why she should be banned from the league. They always run.
It states here, Reebok is reportedly dropping their endorsement for DiJonai Carrington after she attacked Sophie Cunningham. Let's go.
And then the player who clotheslined her went out 4 days later and hit 2 more players in the face in the same game without an ejection. Sophie Cunningham was absolutely right about protecting women in sport, and DiJonai Carrington has spent 4 days proving it.
I tried to tell y'all. I tried. This girl is not going to stop until she takes somebody out the league. This girl will not stop until she ends somebody's career. DiJonai Carrington, once again, with another dirty foul in less than a week, in just a couple of days apart from each other. A couple of days apart from the Sophie Cunningham hard foul. You have Mrs. Eye Poke, Mrs. Flagrant foul. I'm gonna grab your head, I'm gonna hit your head, upside your head, knock you out the air. Mrs. I'm gonna pull your hair.
Over the weekend, Carrington found herself at the center of controversy when she delivered a hard foul on Sophie Cunningham. DiJonai Carrington was assessed a flagrant 2 and was ejected from the game after this play. The aftermath of that play led to plenty of talk and controversy, but it appears Carrington is refusing to let the narrative die.
Yeah, I mean, look, it was a hard foul. I don't think that DiJonai intentionally came out to get her across the neck like she did, but it did happen, and I thought it was the right call. But, you know, one of the things about Nay is that she's going to play her butt off, man. She's going to compete. Nobody's going to go walking in for a layup. And so I don't oppose the hard foul, but I also don't think that she intentionally went for the neck.
Cunningham was left with a bloodied lip. She fell to the floor and could not break her fall. She got up, confronted Carrington directly, and said 7 words that a fan camera caught. Why the FK did you do that? Cunningham said the foul was absolutely intentional. She said Carrington did it because she wants attention.
Punch in the throat, that could kill her, right? And the WNBA, right? The people that run that league, if you're DiJonai here and you have a foul like that, I don't want to hear about, okay, that's a flagrant 2 and you get this sort of fine. She should be suspended for the rest of the season.
And Carrington went to a Monday press conference and said it was never intentional, while her coach called it a basketball play. The WNBA's silence regarding DiJonai Carrington meant she could play Monday night for the Chicago Sky against the Seattle Storm. No additional discipline, no announcement. Play on.
Say I am so fucking sick of the Indiana Fever and Sophie Cunningham. I really, really mean it. And I really have been trying to just keep my mouth shut because the rabid-ass, racist-ass fan base makes it insufferable to actually talk about basketball with people, one, who know the game, who used to play the game, and understand sometimes things just happen in the game. DiJonai got ejected in the first quarter in the Chicago Sky versus Indiana Fever. Sophie Cunningham went up for a layup. DiJonai went to block it, right? Flying in the air. When she went to smack, she missed the ball, hit Sophie's head. I have not played basketball since junior high. That happened to me before. But where I'm at now with it is, one, everything Sophie Cunningham does in the game is for social media. Everything she does in that game is for social media's response, no matter what. Why? Because she's a mid-ass player in the fucking league. And yes, I am a person who has not played basketball since junior high, but I can say she is a mid player in the league. Look at her stats, who understands that where her opportunity is being a social media meme, clip, soundbite. And she will do that by any means, because at this point, that's making her off-court money. What irritates me is, one, DiJonai getting the flagrant 2. I don't think that it should have been a flagrant 2 because the intent to hurt, I don't think that there was an intent to hurt. When you go up to block the ball, especially in a layup, sometimes that shit happens. However, what I'm going to talk about is the aftermath. Sophie getting up and getting in DiJonai's face, and you physically see DiJonai say, stop, stop, stop. With the public, the people who support Sophie Cunningham and the Fever, resulting in such blatant racism, in such social media attacks on any team, any player that is opposing the Fever, Sophie, Caitlin Clark, and especially being black, it results in such racism. Not only now are the players like, hey, I know if I'm going up against the Fever, and especially Sophie, Caitlin, I will take Lexi Hull out of this. Last season, we was getting close, Lexi. We was getting really close. I'll take her out of this equation now. But especially those two, the black players understand that if anything happens, even though it may be things that happen during the game, shit that is so normal to happen during the game, they know that they have racist attacks waiting on them online, or hell, even in
During Chicago's 91-71 loss to the Golden State Valkyries on Wednesday, Carrington was guarding Cecilia Zandalasini on the perimeter, and while swiping at the ball, caught the Golden State forward in the eye. The hand movement from Carrington on the play was odd. While she was clearly using her right hand to attack the ball, her left hand was in a position where it was physically impossible for her to reach the ball unless it went through Zandalasini's face.
Crossroads that Stephanie is stuck in is she knows DiJonai is a good person, but now she's coaching people who are likely taking money from the Heritage Foundation, has a large MAGA racist fan base, and they didn't like that she defended DiJonai.
Take personally any suggestions that I don't 100% always have my players back.
Men should not play sports against women. I'm not going to get into all the bullshit that's going on out here in the world today. If anybody think that, I think they're stupid. I'm not.
Physically impossible to reach the ball unless it went through her face. That is the analysis of Outkick, a sports media outlet that has watched every second of this controversy. This incident looked very similar to when Carrington poked Caitlin Clark in the eye during the 2024 postseason, which sparked mutual ire between Carrington and the Fever's fan base that has clearly persisted.
They go on to defend her, the story, the narrative that she's not a dirty player. She makes plays like this all the time. I put together a little clip of DiJonai Carrington, who is definitely one of the dirtiest players in the WNBA. I don't know if we can roll it, but she's taken her long fingernails. She's scratched Caitlin Clark's eyes out. She's had multiple instances of chasing people down from behind, trying the same swat and smashing them in the head and causing mini fights. She pulled another girl's hair. I don't know if we'll get to that clip in a second when she's falling. Totally dirty play. This is not a skin color thing. She has a history of making dirty plays, and it's fine. The NBA, you can be...
Same move, different year, different player, same result, no flagrant. And then, later in the same game, Carrington whacked Golden State guard Tiffany Hayes in the face with an errant hand, while Hayes was going for a layup at one point during Wednesday's game. Hayes actually posted about the Sophie play on social media after her own experience.
because this isn't, as you said, Tommy, a whoops. This is intentional. This was targeting Sophie Cunningham, and I don't care if the player is white or black. It does not matter. When you do this to somebody, this is horrible for the league. Obviously, this was done because Sophie Cunningham stood up for women, saying that men shouldn't play against women in sports because there is obviously a chromosome advantage, just like you see with steroids, a chemical advantage.
The Valkyries veteran made the layup regardless, but immediately went down in the aftermath. Fortunately, there was no injury as the officials reviewed for a possible flagrant on Carrington. The referees eventually deemed it a common foul. 2 above-the-neck hits in the same game. 0 flagrant fouls, 1 technical foul for arguing with a referee, and the WNBA has still not announced additional discipline for any of it.
Tiffany White, I've been a defender, the coach of the Fever. Get her out of there. Get her out of there. Fire her ass today. I don't want her back on that bench. Stop defending the other players. Oh, she plays hard, DJ. That's just her being her. You see Caitlin in the press conference almost cover her ears and her eyes. Defend your players. First of all, you're wrong. It was a dirty play and she's gone. But when do you ever see in like the NBA a coach not defend their own players? She hasn't done it with Caitlin when Caitlin got punched.
At one point in the fourth quarter, Carrington complained to one of the game's referees about a Valkyries fan who was sitting courtside. The fan was removed but eventually was able to return because Carrington's complaint was unfounded, according to a Valkyries team official. Unfounded.
But I'm never going to think it's all right for men to play sports against women. And I don't even think that's controversial. That's the thing that's funny. Like some of this stuff make, like when you see these debates on television, I'm like, yeah, men shouldn't play sports against women. I'm done. I don't want to hear you try to explain it to me. No, I don't want to hear it. I'm not going to argue with you. Men shouldn't play sports against women. I'm done. There's a lot of we can argue over. That ain't
you women out there. Y'all petty, man. Hey, LeBron, you're 100% right on these girls hating on Caitlin Clark.
Shaquille O'Neal has built his entire post-playing legacy on calling things as he sees them. He called Clark the real deal after admitting he started as a hater. He acknowledged on the record that girls try to beat Clark up. He signed Angel Reese to Reebok and said he would protect his athletes. And the standard of protection Shaq applies, the standard that says you compete hard and you compete within the rules, is the standard Carrington has violated not once, not twice, but across a documented multi-year pattern that now includes face hits on at least 4 players across 3 separate franchises.
DiJonai, did you, when you went and kind of swatted at Caitlin, did you intend to hit her in the eye? And if so, could you just, or if not, either way, could you talk about what happened on that play?
I don't even know why I would intend to hit anybody in the eye. That doesn't even make sense to me. But no, I didn't. I didn't know I hit her, actually. I was trying to make a play on the ball, and I guess I followed through and I hit her. So obviously it's never intentional. That's not even like the type of player that I am. So yeah.
Did you and Marina kind of laugh about it afterwards? It looked like there was later on in the game they caught you guys laughing about it.
No, I just told you I didn't even know I hit her, so I can't laugh about something I didn't know happened.
With the increase,
Carrington infamously gave Clark a black eye by poking her with her fingernails during a game between Clark's Indiana Fever and Carrington's Connecticut Sun in the first round of the playoffs in September. Carrington laughed with teammate Marina Mabrey after the incident. She laughed about giving the most important player in women's basketball a black eye, and then she went on Instagram Live to accuse an Uber driver she believed was white of racial hostility, and then she wore a Donald Trump tour shirt into a professional arena, and then she called for WNBA players to take action against Trump administration policies at a press conference.
The white privilege comment. I would actually say that this is black privilege, to be totally honest with you, because her posting this white racist comment right after assaulting Sophie Cunningham on the court is actually black privilege because she knows the WNBA won't do a single thing of significance about it. And imagine if the roles were reversed. If Sophie made a comment similar to this, then she'd likely never play again.
And then she clotheslined Cunningham on a breakaway and posted white privilege from the locker room. And then she hit Xanda Lassini in the eye with a hand that physically could not have been going for the ball. And then she hit Hayes in the face on a layup. And then she got a fan removed from Chase Center with an unfounded complaint. DiJonai Carrington hit 3 players in the face in 4 days, including a flagrant foul on Sophie Cunningham and an eye poke against the Golden State Valkyries. And the WNBA has still not announced additional discipline.
Women are 51% of the population. We need to start acting like it. Boycott the WNBA. They don't know what a woman is. They don't know how to protect women in girls sports. And the WNBA, the W that stands for woman, not trans, that starts with a T. Woman, y'all don't know what that is? Boycott them. Our girls deserve fairness in their sports and in the locker room. And I'm just having it really up to here with the WNBA and their cowardice. And every fucking WNBA player that says, oh, I don't mind a trans on a team with me, you're fucking lying. You haven't had it. You haven't experienced having a male in the locker room with you. I have. It is fucking demeaning. It crosses our boundaries. It disregards our privacy and what we actually want as women. Fuck the WNBA and any other sports league that allows men to play with women. Boycott them.
That should have been 2 flagrant fouls and an ejection for DiJonai Carrington. One fan responded, if the league doesn't step in here, the players will start to police themselves, and then you have chaos, said another.
I do think that there is a thing called pretty privilege. There is a thing called white privilege. There is a thing called tall privilege. And we have to acknowledge that. And so the part of it is about race, because if you think about the Brittany Griners of the world, you know, why did she have to go to play in Russia?
Because they wouldn't pay her.
Because they wouldn't pay her.
Because they wouldn't pay her.
You know, but I'm rooting for Caitlin because I've been in that seat before. I've walked that road before. I hope she kills. I hope Aaliyah Boston does amazing. And we have grown-ass men and women out here doing whatever they can to try to make sure that does not happen. That is the weirdest thing in the world, but it is what it is, and I'm glad that Caitlin has a great head on her shoulder.
A third commented, they shouldn't be allowed to have nails like that. It's dangerous for a sport like basketball. One ex-user wrote, she is the Draymond Green of the WNBA. She will be hated and celebrated. She will never stop this type of play. Ex-players and coaches gas her up for it, even more so if it's against white players. And then the call that has spread across every platform in the last 24 hours. Get this woman out of basketball. Jason Whitlock, who predicted months ago that Carrington would seriously injure someone, was back on the story immediately after the Valkyries game. He was right about Cunningham. He is now pointing at Xanda Lassini and Hayes. Whitlock said what every clear-eyed observer has been saying since August 8th. The WNBA was warned. They did nothing, and the player they failed to discipline came back 4 days later and hit 2 more players in the face in the same game. Sophie Cunningham was right about all of it. DiJonai Carrington has spent 4 days providing the proof. Is the WNBA's continued silence on DiJonai Carrington after 3 players hit in the face in 4 days with 0 meaningful additional discipline the most embarrassing institutional failure of the entire 2026 WNBA season? And at what point do the players start policing themselves when the league refuses to? Drop it in the comments.